We start with breaking news. Crews responding to a fire at a UPS facility.
This is happening on Ronson Road in Kearney Mesa. CBS 8's Chris Groh is live at the scene with the very latest. Chris, what have we learned?
Yeah, and you can see the employees, a lot of them all started at that 2:30 hour, around that 2 o'clock hour. So they were about 2 hours into their shift, about to take that first break because they work 12-hour shifts. That's when it's believed that fire started. At least that's when a lot of them started to see that smoke, and that is what caused that evacuation. That's what prompted this response, because they do believe, in some of the conversations I've had with some of the folks that are out here now in the cold, is that this is believed to have been some kind of combustible component within a package, maybe, that obviously went ahead and caused that fire. Now, no word on the extent of the damage. A lot of these employees got out before they could kind of see the scope of what happened, and obviously firefighters are in there right now. We did see a hazardous material truck from the San Diego Fire Rescue go into this facility, so we know that obviously that's going to be part of the response here. So the smoke out here live is not as visible as what you are seeing right now in that video. Again, it was very smoky when we first arrived, so that's also a part of this as well too, especially if it was some sort of chemical that caused that fire. That smoke obviously can be very dangerous when it's super condensed there inside of either that truck or that bay. So I want to play some sound from you from a UPS employee that we spoke with when we first got here on scene. One of our producers actually, again, first on scene here to get that sound. Take a listen to what they had to say about what it is that they saw.
Honestly, once we came outside, we saw the smoke and stuff like that. The firefighters came, and to be honest with you, we have a lot of hazardous packages. Sometimes if they get too close, things can combust, and that's what it honestly smells like.
Yeah, and you can see some of the remaining smoke there coming out one of the bay doors. A lot of those trucks that are parked out there. Now, again, the first things first, the biggest thing is that safety. And what we're being told right now is that it does appear all the employees that were in that immediate area were evacuated. Again, many of them out here waiting to find out if they're going to be going back in, because that shift that they worked, that 12-hour shift, that goes until 2 p.m. So a lot of them waiting to find out if they're going to be getting back inside to go to work, or if this is something that's going to delay that process. But again, what we're hearing is that no one was hurt, and that is first and foremost. But to the extent of the damage, we're still waiting to talk to San Diego Fire Rescue to get an idea of exactly how much of the facility may have been captured in this fire. Eric and Carrie.
Wow, check out this video here. Well, and you can hear it, that Nebraska State Patrol trooper walking through a blizzard. That's what it sounds like. Right now, a once-in-a-generation winter storm is plunging much of the country into frigid temperatures. The Arctic blast includes wind chill warnings from the northwest as far as the Gulf Coast and into the eastern seaboard. Crews had to break icicles over a highway in Seattle, while other parts of the country are seeing whiteout conditions and temperatures well below freezing. The brutal winter storm is taking a big toll on holiday travel as well.
According to FlightAware, over 3,000 flights nationwide have already been canceled today. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol is live at the San Diego International Airport with more, and I'm sure, Dana Marie, there are a lot of people stuck in all parts of this nation praying they can eventually get home.
Oh, that's exactly right. I mean, so close to Christmas, you hate to see delays, cancellations light up the boards. A lot of people here traveling to San Diego left a place where it was extremely cold, a lot of severe weather, just hoping to make it to sunny San Diego. People we spoke to said that there was a variety of things they had to deal with before getting here, but they're glad they made it.
We just got fed up with it. We said, heck it, we're going to rent a car, cancel it, pull our bags. We're going to drive out tonight. Heck it. We rented a car. We're going to go pick it up, grab some food, gas up. Bada bing, bada boom. We're on our way.
So you just heard from the Howe family. They were determined to make it to New Mexico after their flight was canceled. So they rented a car, you heard, traded the airways for the roadways, and made that 12-hour drive to Albuquerque. So they're really expecting 60,000 passengers coming and going through San Diego International Airport every day through January 3rd. So we spoke to another daughter and mother from Omaha who already experienced the wrath of Mother Nature. Their connecting flight here through Denver was canceled, so we're hearing a lot of these stories where people had to move their plans around. maybe get here a little bit later than expected, but they're making it here, thankfully. Now, if you are coming here this morning, please remember Terminal 1, the parking lot there is closed due to construction. Getting into Terminal 1 is a lot harder. There's a lot more traffic than probably years before, so please take note of that. Terminal 2 is the only place you can park here, but you do have to make a reservation for a parking spot before you come. If you want to drop your car off now and pick it up after Christmas, all those spots are already sold out, so there's other options like taking a free shuttle. You could park at the Old Town Metro station and have that free shuttle bring you here to the airport. Now, in terms of busyness here at 6 o'clock, it's actually been pretty slow compared to the other mornings we've been here, so that's a positive light. The security line isn't too long, it's not overflowing, so if you come here, give yourself just enough time, you should be fine to make those flights. I know a lot of flights are delayed this morning. I'm heading to New York in the afternoon, so praying that I make my flight. So we're just here at CBS 8 wishing everyone a safe and happy travel. I'm Dana Marie McNichol coming to you live.
Dana Marie, thank you. AAA estimates over 112 million Americans are traveling today through the new year. The agency says nearly 102 million of those people will drive. Excuse me.
San Diego gas prices looking here on today, $4.43 a gallon right now, so not too bad considering yesterday was $4.42. So we went up just a penny, but historically, price is still pretty high. But over a week ago, the past month, these numbers have come down quite a bit, and good timing on that with all the travel. This morning, we are still waiting for a Supreme Court decision on Title 42. Now, that's the pandemic-era restriction that allows the government to quickly expel migrants due to health concerns. Here in San Diego, leaders in the East County say they're not prepared for an increase of asylum seekers if this policy is lifted, and they're calling for more resources. So yesterday they held a meeting at the El Cajon Transit Center. That's the spot, the expected drop-off spot for hundreds of these migrants. Leaders say without more resources from the state or federal government, they will not be able to properly care for the large number of asylum seekers expected here in the East County.
And what's going to happen to them if they're not properly clothed, without shelter, without food, without understanding our health care services? Our emergency rooms are going to be packed.
So that's County Supervisor Joel Anderson. He says he sent letters to Governor Gavin Newsom and President Joe Biden requesting additional resources.
The man accused of molesting 3 boys he babysat is pleading not guilty. 22-year-old Zane St. Julian was arrested this week after parents reported the abuse. Now, the alleged incident happened between July and December at the boys' homes. St. Julian was part of a website called Sitter City, which connects babysitters with families. Investigators say there could be more victims. St. Julian is due back in court on Wednesday. This morning, police are asking for your help to solve a cold case involving a young man from La Mesa. 19-year-old Jamie Peters was last seen on September 2nd, 1988. He had moved in with a roommate in El Cajon, and his roommate denied any knowledge of Peters' whereabouts. 3 months later, his 1970 green Volkswagen Bug was found abandoned in Ramona. The car had been stripped and vandalized.
I know that he will never come back and be right beside me ever again. I know that he was murdered. My hope is that we can bring his remains home and find answers to find out who murdered him.
If you have any information about what happened to Peters, call Crime Stoppers. You could be eligible for a $1,000 reward.
This morning, we've learned a squirrel knocked out power for over 6,000 SDG&E customers. The squirrel came into contact with a power line or equipment around 11 a.m. yesterday. People in Normal Heights, North Park, and University Heights lost power. It was restored about an hour later. We don't have an update on how the squirrel's doing. Some of the highest and lowest tides of the year, known as king tides, are returning for the holiday weekend. Today, high tide will be happening around 8 a.m. and will bring tides up to 7 feet above sea level. Low tide happening in the afternoon around 3:30, and that allows people to catch a sight of sea creatures caught in the tide pools. If you don't catch the king tides today or tomorrow, you'll have another chance very soon. They will be happening again on January 21st. You can see all those little crustaceans when you head out there. Just be careful you don't step on anything, and you can't be bringing any of those those creatures home. Leave them where they belong there, Carrie.
Yeah, definitely leave them there. The cool thing is, so today they're expecting the extreme high tide at 8 a.m. this morning, and then the extreme low tide is expected at 3:30 this afternoon, and that's when you get to see all the fun little creatures out there. So you definitely want to head out and check it out if you can. We have a beautiful weekend ahead of us. In fact, our holiday forecast, take a look. This is just a little sneak peek. Christmas Eve in Poway, 77 degrees. On Christmas Day, 82 degrees. Inland valleys are expected to be anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees above the seasonal norm over the holiday weekend, Sunday being the warmest day of the week. If we take a look at our headlines, we have those Santa Ana conditions. That's what's driving the heat. Some breezy conditions out in the mountains as a result of those Santa Anas, but nothing too crazy. Gusts maybe up to 35 miles per hour. Coastline, inland valleys, desert, they look pretty good as far as the winds go. High pressure system going to continue through about Sunday before we see a weather pattern change where we could see some wet weather as early as Tuesday of next week. We will continue to track that. Current conditions along the beaches, we are in the mid-40s. Poway, good morning, waking up at 41 degrees. El Cajon, 43. Ramona, really cold this morning, 32 degrees. Out in the mountains, we're in the upper 40s, and Borrego Springs, 43. This high pressure system is what is going to drive that heat over this holiday weekend. It's going to keep us warm through about Monday before temperatures start to drop on Tuesday. And then you'll see right behind it a low pressure system with a storm that is brewing that could blanket most of California over the course of Tuesday into about Friday. Here we are Thursday in the afternoon, and you can see most parts of California coastline covered with the green. Hopefully we'll get some good precipitation out of this. As of right now, models not fully agreeing on what we're going to see, so we will continue to track that as we get a little bit closer. Your 8-day microclimate forecast, beautiful over the holiday weekend along the beaches. We're in the upper 60s through Christmas Eve, 70s by Christmas Day. Inland valleys were in the 70s until Christmas Day, 84 degrees. And there you can see on your screen that chance of some wet weather next week. So don't put that umbrella away quite yet, Eric.